Hi Humanities class! Today I'm going to be presenting to you Topic 3, Roman Poetry. In Roman poetry there are kind of three subjects, epic, lyric, and satire. To kind of describe epic to you, I'm going to read what Chad wrote about the poet Virgil. Virgil wrote the semi-legendary epic, Aeneid. It is the story of Rome's mythical founder, Aeneas. Aeneas goes on a long journey and undergoes a series of adventures that tests his prowess. Aeneas, pressed to fulfill his divine mission, prepares to take a leave from Dido. His stoic sense of duty overcomes his desire for personal fulfillment. In the second passage, Anchises sums up the meaning and purpose of Rome's historic mission. Anchises, is that how you say it? Now, lyric is more kind of like the poems that we know today. The ones that rhyme every now and again or whatever. The poet Horace wrote one called Civil War. I kind of liked it. And this is how it went. Why do ye rush, O wicked folk, to a fresh war? Again the cries, the sword, and the smoke. What for? Has not sufficient present blood been fiercely shed? Must ye spill more until ye flood the dead? Not even armed in rivalry your hates employed, but gainst yourselves ye be destroyed. Even when beasts slay beasts, they kill some other kind. Can it be madness makes ye still blind? Make answer, is your conscience numb? Each ashy face admits with silent lips the dumb disgrace. Murder brothers of all crime, vilest and worst. Pause, lest ye be through of all time accursed. Okay. And the last section of Roman poetry is called satire. My partner Chad defines it as this. Satire is a literary genre that ridicules or pokes fun at human vices and follies. In the first poem, Horace gives a common sense insight on the subject of war. In the second poem, Horace gives a caustic description of a middle-aged woman with teenage tendencies. And in the third poem, Horace discloses his stoic belief in human perfection and coins on the phrase carpe diem. And carpe diem means seize the day. So although Rome excelled in didactic prose, is like speaking normally, that is without metrical structure as in poetry, in which you can totally tell I'm speaking without prompts right now, right? Wow, that was lame. And in the end, the Romans produced some of the world's finest verse. And during this golden age of Latin literature, Octavian was under rule. And so for a good example of satire other than the definition, I think the poet Juvenal did a good job. Juvenal believes that the city of Rome is swollen with greed and corruption. He portrays the city as dirty, noisy, and crowded, and the people itself as indulgent and violent. Juvenal believes that the women of Rome have thrown away their virtues and have become very vain. And he just points out all these imperfections that he thinks are in humans. Juvenal, in his poem Against Women, proudly says this: there is nothing a woman won't do, nothing she thinks is disgraceful. With her green gems at her neck, or pearls distending her earlobes, nothing is worse to endure than your Mrs. Rich Bitch, whose visage is padded and plastered with dough in the most ridiculous manner. Furthermore, she reeks of indolence, so God help her husband, with his wretched face stunk up with these, smeared by her lipstick. To her lovers, she comes with her skin washed clean, but at home, why does she need to look pretty? Nard is assumed for the lover. For the lover, she buys all the Arabian perfumes. She takes some time to strip down to her face, removing the layers, one by one, till at last she is recognizable. Almost. Then she uses the lotion. She asses milk she needs herds, but of these creatures, to keep her supplied on her northernmost journeys. But when she's given herself the treatment in full, from the ground base, to the last layer of mud path, from the first wash to a poultice, what lies under all this? A human face or an altar? Ow. Someone sounds bitter to me. So in conclusion, I hope I didn't forget anything. And I apologize about the name things. I'm really bad with names. At the end of this video, I'm going to ask you a few questions related to Romanian poetry, not Romanian, like Roman poetry. So hop in the discussion, we can clarify anything that I've talked about in this video.